Most people never notice it sitting on a store shelf. It looks like simple white powder in a cheap bag. It costs about $2 in many places. Yet this tiny purchase can drop the temperature inside your home by around 10 degrees. No machine, no electricity, just a powder that reflects almost all the sunlight that hits it. Imagine sunlight hitting your roof all day. Most roofs soak up that heat like a sponge. The heat moves into your attic. Then it spreads through the whole house. Your air conditioner works harder and harder trying to fight it. But this powder does something very different. Instead of absorbing heat, it throws the sunlight right back into the sky. Up to 98% of the sunlight never becomes heat at all. That means your roof stays cooler, your attic stays cooler, and your home stays cooler without burning electricity. Scientists at Purdue University studied this effect carefully. Their work was so impressive that even Guinness World Records confirmed the results. But here's the surprising part. This idea is not new at all. In fact, humans have used this trick for over 4,000 years, long before air conditioners existed, long before electricity powered homes. Ancient builders already knew how to fight the sun. Across the bright islands of Greece, people painted almost every wall pure white. The bright color pushed sunlight away instead of soaking it in. Homes stayed cooler even during the hottest months of summer. The same thing happened during the time of the Roman Empire. Builders mixed the same material into their wall plaster. Cities across the Mediterranean used it everywhere. Travel today through places like Santorini or Mykonos. You will see bright white houses covering the hills. Those homes are not white just for beauty. They are white because the color keeps the buildings cool. Even coastal villages across Morocco, Spain, and Italy still use this method today. It helps people survive hot summers without spending huge amounts of money. For thousands of years, this simple trick cooled millions of homes. People did not need machines. They did not need monthly electric bills. They only needed a cheap powder mixed with water. But something strange happened in the modern world. As air conditioning became common, this ancient trick slowly disappeared from everyday conversation. It was not because the method stopped working. It worked just as well as it always had. The real reason is much more interesting. In the early 1900s, a man named Willis Carrier invented modern air conditioning systems for buildings. The invention changed cities forever. Offices became cooler. Homes became cooler. And a huge industry was born. Air conditioners could be sold, installed, repaired, upgraded, and powered by electricity every single month. But the ancient cooling powder created a problem. You could buy it once, mix it with water, paint it on a roof, and enjoy cooler temperatures for years. No monthly bill, no complicated machine, no expensive installation. A solution that cheap does not create much profit. So over time, the simple powder faded from public attention. Most people today have never even heard of it, yet the knowledge never truly disappeared. Researchers continued testing it quietly, and some of the results shocked even modern scientists. One of the most interesting experiments happened in the 1970s at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory in California. A researcher took a normal building roof, nothing special, just a flat rooftop under the hot sun. Then he mixed crushed limestone powder with water. It formed a simple white coating, the same recipe that village families had used for generations. Half the roof stayed dark. The other half was painted white with the mixture. The difference was shocking. The white surface became 40 degrees cooler than the dark roof beside it. 40 degrees. Inside the building, temperatures dropped about 8 degrees. The building needed no air conditioning during the summer, all from a cheap powder mixed with water. And this discovery opened the door to an even bigger idea about cooling that most people still do not know today. But before we get there, the real science behind this ancient trick becomes even more surprising, because modern researchers eventually pushed this idea further than anyone expected. In 2021, a professor at Purdue University in Indiana did something incredible. He created a paint formula unlike anything before. This paint reflected over 98% of sunlight. Regular commercial white paints reflect only around 80%. That extra reflectivity made all the difference. When this paint coated a roof, the surface stayed cooler than the air itself. During the day, the temperature on the roof dropped about 8 degrees below the air. At night, it dropped even more, almost 19 degrees below the surrounding temperature. It was like the roof became its own air conditioner. Calculations showed that painting 1,000 square feet of roof with this formula created a cooling effect of 10 kilowatts. That is more power than a typical home's central air conditioning system produces. And it did this without using a single watt of electricity. A coat of paint, cheaper than a lunch for two, outperformed a $5,000 air conditioner. The achievement earned recognition from Guinness World Records. They confirmed it as the whitest paint ever made. Peer-reviewed studies backed the results. Even CNN and the Smithsonian Institution reported on it. But surprisingly, almost nothing changed in the commercial world. The global paint industry makes over $200 billion a year. Companies like Sherwin-Williams and PPG Industries rely on repeat purchases. Their business model depends on repainting every few years. A paint that lasts decades and reduces or eliminates air conditioning threatens billions of dollars in revenue. And that is not all. The air conditioning and roofing industries combined generate over $300 billion annually. A cheap lime coating cannot be patented, cannot be trademarked, and cannot create subscriptions. So naturally, it gets buried. Homeowner associations even push for darker roofs. Brown, gray, or earth-toned shingles absorb heat. They ensure residents rely on air conditioning. History shows how humans have always found natural ways to cool their homes. Grandparents in rural towns often painted roofs every spring. It only took a couple of hours. A small bag of lime mixed with water kept houses cool all summer. No electricity, no machines. Even today, you can replicate this method. Buy a 50-pound bag of Type S hydrated lime. It costs between $7 and $14. Mix it with water until it has a smooth, milky consistency. 1 part lime, 2 parts water, stirred well. Apply it with a thick brush or roller. 2 coats are best. Let the first coat dry overnight before the second. For a normal-sized roof, the total cost is under $30. One afternoon of work can cool an entire home for months. Homeowners who have tried it report dramatic results. In Texas, one man saw his attic temperature drop from 140 degrees down to 97. Inside the house, it fell by 10 degrees. His air conditioner ran less than half the usual time. He saved over $1,200 in electricity that summer alone. Compare that to a modern air conditioning system. Installation costs $5,000 to $15,000. Monthly electric bills often exceed $150, all for something a couple of dollars of powder can replace. The Greeks knew this centuries before modern air conditioning existed. The Romans applied it across entire cities. Professor Ruin confirmed it works just as effectively today. Yet corporations profit from heat and darkness. They prefer people to stay unaware. The powder is still sitting on store shelves. $7 or $14. No one questions it. Your ancestors knew the secret. They painted their homes every spring. Science now proves what history always knew. The method is simple. It works, and it has been forgotten for too long. If you are ready to see exactly how to apply this ancient and modern method to your home, stay tuned. Here is where the method becomes simple and practical for anyone. All you need is 1 bag of Type S hydrated lime, about 50 pounds. Pick it up at any local hardware store for $7 to $14. Next, find a clean bucket or container. Pour in the lime powder and add water slowly. Mix it until the consistency looks smooth, like thin milk. The ratio is easy, 1 part lime to 2 parts water. Stir until there are no lumps. Now prepare your roof. Make sure the surface is dry and clear of dirt or debris. Start applying the mixture with a thick roller or brush. Cover the entire roof evenly. Do not worry about making it perfect. The main goal is full coverage, so sunlight cannot reach the original dark surface. Once the first coat is finished, let it dry completely overnight. Then apply the second coat the next day. After this, the roof is ready to reflect the sun. No further treatment is required for months, sometimes even years. The results are almost immediate. Homes that tried this method noticed their attic temperatures drop dramatically. One house in Texas went from 140 degrees in the attic to just 97. Inside the living areas, the temperature fell by a full 10 degrees. Air conditioners barely ran during the summer months. The savings can be huge. One family reported saving over $1,200 on electricity in a single season, all from 2 bags of simple powder. Think about it. A brand new air conditioning system can cost $5,000 to $15,000. Then add a monthly electric bill that easily reaches $150 or more. Compare that to a one-time investment of under $30. This is not magic, it's physics. The powder reflects sunlight. It prevents heat from entering your home. And it has been proven to work for thousands of years. The Greeks and Romans understood this long before modern technology. They plastered their buildings with lime to keep them cool. Entire cities benefited. No electricity, no machinery. Just a natural, affordable solution. Modern science confirms these ancient techniques still work. Professor Ruin's formula at Purdue University shows it can outperform even central air conditioning. The Guinness World Records recognized it as the whitest surface ever created. And peer-reviewed research supports its effectiveness. Yet, despite its simplicity, most people have never heard of it. Why? Because industries that profit from air conditioning and paint prefer you to stay in the dark. A solution that costs almost nothing cannot generate recurring revenue. So it was quietly ignored, even though it works better than expensive alternatives. Homeowners associations across the country now favor darker roofs. Brown, gray, or earth-tone shingles are encouraged. These colors absorb heat, forcing residents to rely on AC systems. This ensures continued profit for roofing and cooling industries. But now the secret is out. You have the knowledge that has been hidden for centuries. The powder is still available. The technique is simple. The savings are real. All you need is a bucket, water, a brush, or roller, and a little time. 2 coats, a single afternoon, and you can enjoy cooler summer months without relying on electricity. Your grandparents knew this secret. It worked then, and it works today. If you follow these steps, your home will stay comfortably cool. Your air conditioner will run less. Your energy bills will drop. And you will have joined the small group of people who understand how ancient wisdom can beat modern machines. This is exactly the kind of practical knowledge Life Hack Factory shares. Simple, affordable, and often hidden from most people.